Hey y'all, hey, this is Dr. Kesha coming to you today with part two of the sad case of Sonya Massey. It's interesting because the more we share, the more we learn about the case. And there's a couple of things that have come up that I really want to highlight and I really want to share. Some interesting things. And if you happen to know anything, if you happen to live in the community, if there's a backstory to this that the masses don't know anything about, please feel free to share. I think the more information that comes out about this case, I believe it's going to not only help this case, but to my understanding, there was some other incidences that is not getting the same attention, and I believe it's with a family member that happened to be related to Sonya. And I believe they also were unalived due to, um, I want to say, a breakdown in policing. To my understanding, I just found it out just a few moments ago. So I wanna share that. I want to share the video that I saw that I just found that to be very sad and very interesting. Yeah, there seems to be some kind of backstory. Let me go back. Let's see. Let me find. I'm gonna shout out to Black Discoveries. I'm be sure to. This is fair use. I'm gonna just really comment on what I just saw. It's just mind blowing. Like we pray and we ask God for revelation and to just give us some information, and all of a sudden it just comes out of nowhere. Information just begins to flood us, and it's just interesting, not to say the least, and sad and very unfortunate. But let me let me share the video. Let me just make sure. Let me see. Get it to where it starts and where it ends. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and share. Hold on. Let me turn up the volume a little bit.
So apparently, Sean Grayson's wife, Isabel Butterfield, works at the hospital that Sonya Massey visited for medical care prior to calling the police. It's also been found that her father is a retired chief of police. So did something happen at the hospital between Isabel Butterfield and Sonya Massey prior to?
Did she just say that the officer that shot her wife works at the hospital that Sonya was a patient of relatively recent to the assassination, execution slash unaliving? Did she just say that? Let me just take that back just a little bit here. Hold on.
Police. So did something happen at the hospital between Isabel Butterfield and Sonya Massey? Is a retired chief
Let's go
to
back.
calling the police. Sean Grayson's wife, Isabel Butterfield, works at the. So apparently, Sean Grayson's wife, Isabel Butterfield, works at the hospital that Sonya Massey visited for medical care prior.
Okay, she said that Sean Grayson, which is the guy that shot Sonya, his wife works at the hospital that Sonya was being attended to recently. Oh, whoa, wait a minute.
To calling the police. It's also been found that her father is a retired chief of police.
Okay, so his wife's father is a retired chief of police, which makes kind of sense how he can have 6 jobs in 4 years. 6 jobs in 4 years. And I think that he might have been working like two at the same time. We'll give him that. We get part-time jobs. That's normal. but 6 different locations, precincts, jobs in policing in 6 years. I'm sorry, in 4 years, 6 jobs in 4 years. That usually when you have such a pattern like that, it's a red flag in most hiring practices. It's a red flag to them. They don't usually, or they dig deeper. They try to do some background. They try to figure out or ask questions about that type of pattern that has been formed. So that's pretty alarming and pretty interesting. Now it makes sense if his wife's dad is a retired chief, then I'm sure that he pulled a lot of leverages employed, but for whatever reason, and it's not coming up in this particular video, which shout out to them again, fair use, but he also had a few DUIs, and I think his license was suspended at one point. And you would think that if you can't drive legally, and if you have a background of drinking and driving, that to me that should eliminate you from the hiring pool, at least as a police officer. That you would think, being a lawbreaker yourself, prior had your priors in your past, you would think. But I guess if you have a father-in-law who's an retired chief of police, then you would kind of have a little bit of privilege there, huh? Interesting. If what she's saying is true, allegedly, I don't know. But hey, if you know something, please feel free to share. Please feel free to confirm. Wow. Springfield, Illinois, huh? Okay.
So did something happen at the hospital between Isabel Butterfield and Sonya Massey prior to Sonya Massey going home?
Now, the name of the wife is Isabel Butterfield. Let me see if we see that. It's hard to see it like that, huh? Let me just take that back out. Isabel Butterfield is Sean's Grayson's wife. Is that what she's saying? And perhaps there was some type of friction or some words exchange or something. That's what she's alluding to. I don't know. This is all alleged because I can't confirm, deny. I can't do anything with that information. But is there backstory to this? To me, it speaks to the premeditation. Even though, when I looked at a video of a criminal attorney that does commentary, law commentary, he said that it's considered premeditation, period, because he told her what he was going to do before he did it, because he told her he was going to shoot her in the face, and he did it. That is premeditation by definition. This is a criminal law attorney that made that statement. So, but if there is a backstory that can be discovered, then that even helps the case even further. So bring it. Let's let all the information come out so that this woman can get her justice. All right, let's listen.
Sonya Massey prior to Sonya Massey going home, which prompted Isabel Butterfield to call her husband, Sean Grayson, which then may have prompted him to go to Sonya Massey's house and make a disturbance outside for her to have to call the police. And then you respond. And then you and your partner just so happen to respond to Sonya Massey's call to the police. You knock on her door with your chest puffed out, and then you take her life unjustly.
Wow. So she's saying that there's some premeditation here, that they created a situation by which she had to call the police. And you know what's interesting? We're going to see the video again, and this is definitely a longer video. And so I really want to show this one. I really want to get this one on record because I think you need to see like the whole conversation. When you see the stills, you can't really, determine the mood and how things were said and the attitude, and that sort of thing. It's kind of difficult to, when you get in the home, a lot of the videos have started in the home, but not with the conversation at the door when she did eventually answer the door. So on this particular video, we're going to see it from the beginning, like from the moment she answered the door and the conversation that ultimately led for him to go inside the home. But he had his camera off. And that's what's weird, because there was a moment in the video, which we're going to see eventually, we're going to see, where the partner was, he appeared to be going back to the car. And then all of a sudden he turned around and noticed that Sean was going inside the home. So it seemed like to me, you need anything else? Like they were asking, you need anything else? Is there anything? She said, no, no, no. And it almost seemed like it was about to end. And then all of a sudden he goes inside the home. So this is super duper duper questionable and super duper duper sus. And Sonya Mason's people, Sonya Massey's people, daddy, y'all look into this. Y'all attorneys, look into this. Look into this.
Is that what really happened? You see what?
All right, so we'll pause there, and I'm gonna fast forward it. To this one. Hold on. Let me fast forward it. I'm sorry, I think it came after her. Just make sure.
Everybody on TikTok is talking about the tragic unaliving of Sonya Massey by the police in Springfield, Illinois. But did y'all know that her 4-year-old cousin, Terrell Miller, was also unalived by police in March?
Wow, are you kidding me? So her 4-year-old cousin was unalived in March. She was unalived in July. That's crazy. That's eerie. Wow. So if that's the case, then we have to look at this with a different set of lens. It will make sense once we watch the video, right? There's a video that is attached to this video. I'll make sure to reference this video, by the way. Shout out to Black Discoveries. Within that video, you can tell that she was really nervous. It's hard to tell in the stills, and it's hard to tell, from the videos that were edited that begin in the home. It's hard to so that's why she had a difficult time finding things, because she was nervous. She was nervous. And you can tell in the video that we're going to see in just a few moments that she was very agitated. Like she didn't feel comfortable with them being there, even though she called the police. She wanted the help by the police. But it was something within that interaction that made her feel very comfortable. She looked very uncomfortable having the conversation with those guys. And you can tell because, okay, we'll point it out when we get to the video, but this is so sad to me. So listen to how he was unalived. Wow.
In fact, the day after Sonya Massey's body cam footage came out, it was announced that the police officer that shot and unalived Terrell Miller was not going to be facing any charges or discipline.
So the officer that shot the 4-year-old, no charges, no disciplinary actions. And there, I guess she's saying that it didn't get obviously any traction or any attention, obviously, like Sonya's unaliving is getting. So most people don't even know where, most folks are not even aware. Maybe the community, but in terms of the masses, it makes a difference. It really, truly makes a difference when these videos become viral, because it puts pressure on local people. Normally they would cover it up. They'll do what they want to do, because if it's just the community has to deal with what they have to deal with. They have to deal with these cops. They're in the community. They have to deal with the higher ups. They have to deal with the authorities, the lawmakers within their community. So there's only so much they can do. Yes, they can protest and stuff like that, But if it's just contained within their community, you know what I mean, in terms of the outrage, okay, they can just try to play it off, try to cover it up. But when you're bringing it outside of your community and now it becomes viral and the country knows about it, oh, that's a whole nother level. Then it's an election season, and Illinois is a blue state. Like, no, immediately calls are going to be coming left and right, left and right, left and right. If anything, let's just listen to how this. I already saw this video, but I want you to hear what happened to the little boy. It's just sad.
They are using Sonya Massey to cover up this announcement. Nick Gawk also did not attempt to do any first aid on the 4-year-old that he had just on a.
Now, that and that alone deserves a write-up. That and that alone should be documented. That and that alone should require that person to sit at home. You know, sorry. That and that alone, something should happen. Reprimanding, there's supposed to be some type of reprimand, desk job, something. Like something should transpire. You didn't do first aid? Like, what is with these people? What on earth? Wow. A 4-year-old. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't tell. I don't know who's who in the picture though. I can't tell who's who. I don't know who did the shooting.
Alive in the chest. And here's the thing, Lieutenant Nick Gawk also knew Terrell's mother. He had been trying for years to hassle her. Here's what happened that night. On March 16th, Terrell's mother's highly intoxicated ex-boyfriend strong-armed his way into their home.
Wait, so she's saying that the cop that shot her son knew the mother of the child? Lord have mercy. And so he came to a disturbance with a boyfriend or something.
Home, telling her that if he couldn't have her, nobody could. He proceeded to spend hours essaying her at knife point.
Wow.
When the police were finally called, they spent 10 minutes outside of the door, not attempting to come in. Lieutenant Nick Gawk was the superior on scene who made that call. When they finally broke down the door, they found Kiana on the floor in a puddle of her own blood. She started screaming, "Save my baby, save my baby." At that point, when she said that, he held the weapon to her, the woman bleeding out on the floor.
Wow. And again, these are situations that are hidden, swept under the rug. Most public don't know about, whatever. My constant prayer has been for like the last, I want to say, year. I mean, I don't know. It's been for years. The Lord would put it back in my spirit to pray. Lord, whatever's going on in the dark, bring it to light. And it's these types of situations, if this is indeed true, I'm glad that it's being exposed. And it's sad and it's sickening because I just heard another story about her family. So this is yet another story. And we're going to finish listening to this one. There was another story of a family member being lynched. Lord have mercy. My.
Instead of neutralizing the man holding a knife, they let him walk across the room into the child's bedroom. When he appeared, he was holding 4-year-old Terrell Miller in his arms with a knife against his throat and against his stomach. And with no regard for the child's safety, Nick Gawk fired through Terrell, unaliving both he and the perpetrator in.
Wow. He shot through the 4-year-old. And he's not going to be reprimanded. He's not losing his job. No charges. They seemed to not even try to save the little boy's life. It seems like there was absolutely no effort to save her child, but to bring harm to her end. the person that was trying to harm the child. And it seems like to me, there was absolutely no sympathy at all for the mom going through what she was going through when they entered into the home. This is sickening to me. This is if any of this is true, if an ounce of this is true, if a sprinkle of this is true, ooh, they're going to pay. And you better hope that you pay on this side of the grave. Because the folks that when the judgment is delayed into the next life, you're going to wish you got that judgment in this life so that you can at least have a change of heart. Because sometimes that correction, that judgment will bring about a change if there's hope for you. But if there is no hope for you, it don't matter. That's why some people don't get corrected. God just preserves it, for the other side. He just waits, because why even waste the energy to correct someone that won't change? This is just horrific.
One bullet. The body cams will be released next week, probably Monday. When Kiana woke up in the hospital, she was informed that her son did not make it. She then had to recover from 27 incisions from that night. There will be a protest in Macomb Monday 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sonya Massey's killer is in prison.
Wow. So they're going to have a protest about this little boy. I'm going to have to write his name so that he can also be hashtagged. These are the types of things. These are the going-ons. These are the things that are just swept under the rug. And this is unacceptable. There's absolutely unacceptable. There's just no justifying, not even giving him medical attention. Oh my gosh.
Terrell's killer is not. Please say Terrell's name for Sonya's sake.
Oh, Terrell. All right, so here's the video that's coming up from the moment she opened the door. This is a lot, y'all. It just seems like there's more to the story than seems like there's so much more to the story. All right, are we ready? Let me just make sure we're all watching this. Okay. Now, this is good because this is going to show all of it. I'm going to have to talk that talk. I'm going to have to do some commentating, obviously. Again, fair use, fair use, fair use. I want to see this and I want to share it with you because I want you all to see the beginning. You know what I mean? Because all of these other videos are so well edited that you really don't see or even hear the conversation, the dialogue between Sonya and the police officer before her life was taken. All right, let's go.
You called us. Okay. So what'd you hear?
Now, did you see when she said, "Please don't hurt me"? Hold on. Here we go. She said, "Please don't hurt me." That's what she said. She said, "Please don't hurt me." This is getting deep, y'all. This is getting deep. So there was no, just come on in, yeah. No, she was afraid. She said, "Please don't hurt me." You see the caption? "Please don't hurt me." So when she saw them, she was afraid. Let me take it back a couple notches. So she's on the phone. Okay, just to put it in context. So she's saying on the phone, "Please, y'all, somebody out here, and I need y'all help." Oh, whoa. No, she's talking to them, but she has her phone too. Okay, so there's the dispatcher that's on on her phone. We'll see it later. So she said, I need your help. She said, please don't hurt me. Wow. Like I said, these still shots, they don't give what needs to give. You know what I mean? In terms of context.
You called us.
Okay.
So what'd you hear?
Somebody keeps outside my house, y'all.
Is this your car over here?
Please, God, please, God, please.
You hear her? Please, God. She's praying. She's praying because she's afraid. There's something unsettled in her spirit. Again, she called the police. But yet she sees them and she's like, please don't hurt me. Please, God. Please, God. Lord have mercy.
Is this your car over here? Oh.
Please, God.
That's not your black car in the driveway? Oh, well,
Okay, so now outside, she said it wasn't. Outside, she said that it wasn't. But for those videos that we saw that were edited when they were on the inside, she was giving them information about the car. So clearly there is obviously something going on with her that is not normal, some mental health related thing. And we know later when the superior or I don't know who came on the scene after the fact was asking questions, they coded the call, which meant that they were coming to a residence of a person that has a mental health related issues. So they were aware before they came or on their way or whatever the case may have been that this was the situation.
we checked your yard. We walked around the whole block. We didn't see anybody. Right? You know, we don't. We checked the whole area. There's nobody out walking around.
I know, y'all. Please, God, please, God. I'm trying
She's still saying, please, God, please, God.
to get help, y'all, but
What do you need help with?
nothing. I just, please, God, please, God. Please.
You see how she kept saying that?
I don't know what to do.
Do with what?
Huh?
What do you need help with?
Nothing. I just wanted to see if I could help me.
What do you want help with?
Huh?
What do you want help with?
I heard somebody outside.
Yeah, we checked your house.
She's a little distraught. There's something going on with her.
We checked your backyard. I walked all the way through all these backyards. We checked your front yard.
We didn't see nobody.
Yeah,
So
nobody's out here.
You didn't see anybody?
Nope.
nope.
No.
Checked the whole area.
And mind you, this is 2 days after 4th of July. So we're hearing firecrackers in the background. Okay. So that's what that noise, it sounds like shooting, and it could be, you know, because usually 4th of July, folks be shooting some of everything. Let's be clear. But to me, it sounds like there are fireworks in the background. So it's that going on, which could, for some people, that might trigger them or cause a little bit of fear. Some people, you know, may have had a bad experience growing up with when it comes to fireworks. So again, I don't know, but that's what we hear in the background, in addition to whatever she heard that prompted her to call the police in the first place. Okay. And if she's living alone, then it makes sense why she would be afraid or that she would fear or feel a certain kind of way. Right. But she keeps saying, Lord, help me, Lord, help me. But yet the police are present. So if I'm calling the police with some type of reassurance within myself, oh, the cavalry is here. You know what I mean? Oh, they're here to help me. All right. We don't get that. We don't get that vibe here. That's not the vibes we're getting. She's calling on the name of the Lord while talking to them saying, where's the help? And they're right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting to me because there's something within her that's saying something ain't right. There's something off here. Wow.
Yeah. What took you so long to answer the door?
Oh, I was trying to put on some clothes, sir. I'm sorry. I was trying to get.
I got you. All right. Is there anything else we can do for you?
Huh?
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, sir.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so when they ask the question, is there anything else that we can do for you? Mind you, Sean, which is the guy that did the execution, the one that shot her, he's the big guy, about 6'3"-ish, big guy, cornbread fed dude that's talking to her, right? She's very small and petite. He doesn't have his body cam on. So the guy that the cam that we're looking at is the partner, which he doesn't have a name associated as of yet. It hasn't come out. We thought the conversation was over. Now he asked, all right, are you all right mentally? Okay. Now the conversation was over. Okay, all right, you have a good night. Okay, bye. And then something else happened. There was a change of mind or something.
You doing all right mentally?
Yes.
Sure.
My medicine stuff.
All right. Okay.
I love y'all. Thank y'all.
All right. That's not your black car though. SUV. Whose is it?
Several.
Okay, so you see where the partner is. So something was said. They were supposed to be at that point leaving, but instead he's going in her home. That conversation was not picked up, obviously, because he doesn't have his camera on. He doesn't have the body cam on. So just the partner. So he sees him going in, and now he's coming behind him. He's following behind him. He was about to go back to the car. And of course, he goes look in the room. Okay, so she says that they're calling back. So I'm assuming that, I don't know if it's 911. I don't know who it is that she called, or the precinct or whatever, but they're calling her back. And now they're checking the inside of her home. This right here isn't, I don't believe this is appropriate. I'm not a trained law enforcement, but to my understanding, unless there's some type of probable cause for them to check the inside of her home, but to my understanding, the complaint or the report was there was something outside of her home. So the mere fact that they're in her home, searching around the house, going into another room, with your flashlight, like, to me, some boundaries have already been crossed, to me. Or maybe the way she's talking is giving them some cause to want to look around because she says she needs some help. I'm not sure what the angle is here, but it's looking mighty suspect. It's looking mighty suspect as to why they would do that. Unless they're trying to confirm that she's alone. Now she's on the phone.
I got the sheriff's department here, but I was
Okay, you say she's got the sheriff's department, but
help from y'all.
he said she was calling for help from y'all. She wanted help from the people that called her back.
Here, but I was calling for help from y'all. They're here in my house right now. No, hold on. Wait a second, sir.
You can hang up, Codwell.
She doesn't want to hang up the phone. He told her that she can hang up. She didn't want to hang up the phone with them. It seems as if she didn't want their help. It seems as if she's picking up on something else. That's why she kept saying, Lord, please, Lord, please, Lord, please, in the beginning. Wow. But of course, the person on the other end is like, oh, you got sheriffs there? Oh, yeah, okay. They can help you, right? Not going to think you're going to get your head blown off. Or that they're going to actually harm you when they claim that they weren't going to harm you, or the guy said he wasn't going to harm her after she said, please don't hurt me, in the beginning of the whole conversation. How ironic is that?
No, hold on, okay?
She wants them to hold on. She doesn't want them to hang up the phone.
You can hang up.
Just 1 second, okay?
She doesn't want to say because she's scared. She doesn't want to say, I'm not comfortable with them being in my home. Can you please just hang on? And it's a cotton picking shame. And I hate even have to use that vernacular. I really have to use that analogy, but it is that we're afraid of the people that's supposed to be sent to help us. We're afraid they're going to harm us. And now that we have more context to know that she had a nephew or somebody that was related to her that was gunned down by police prior to months prior to this situation, or maybe other encounters that she may have had in the past, makes her feel uncomfortable around law enforcement. They just seem to bogart their way in their home. I don't think she invited them in.
Okay.
What's up?
I got some paperwork. Can you grab that Bible, please?
Yeah. Hey, I just need your.
Isn't it interesting how she asked him to grab her Bible? Now, she's been calling on the Lord since she opened up the door, and they're right in front of her on the porch. She's been calling the name of the Lord. Now she's sitting down and she's trying to look for some, I think he's asking for some identification, and she's trying to locate some stuff, and she's asking him to pass her Bible, please. So seems like to me she's a Bible believing person. She seems like to me she's a person of faith, which this makes me happy to know that. But it just makes me sad that this woman had to endure what she had to endure, and it's just for no rhyme or reason, at least to our understanding. Unless there is some type of premeditation based upon what was shared in this video. If all those things are true, and maybe this was about a vendetta or some type of revenge, Lord have mercy.
Your name so we can get out of here. Was there any damage previous to your car?
Previous, yeah, it was
Okay, what was the damage?
a dent, I believe.
But what about windows?
Oh, it was something that happened earlier.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so first they asked about some type of minivan, then he asked about the car. So I'm assuming those are two different things and not the same thing. So maybe there was no confusion in the beginning when they were asking her about the van, and she was like, I don't know. And then now he's asking her about the car, and then she's giving him all the answers. Or it could be the same thing. You know what I mean? It's hard to tell. But he's asking her for identification now. This is just, to me, policing just going bad, going wrong. It's just giving amateur. It's just giving white supremacy. It's just giving, I don't know, just ulterior motive. It's just giving a whole lot. It's just giving a whole lot now. You know what I mean? That's why context is everything. You really do need to see all the footage. Like, you need to see, roll the tape. Like, you really need to see everything. Because if they're editing videos and all this other stuff, forget all the edit stuff. Forget the chopping up. I want to see the whole thing from the rooter to the tutor. I want to see everything, because y'all be hiding stuff. Because if I would have seen the video like this, we would have had a different conversation. Video one, part one would have been a different type of conversation, okay, than what we're having today. But now that we're seeing and hearing it in the fullness, we have a whole different perspective. And then some of the potential backstory, and then the backstory with the little boy, the 4-year-old being shot in the chest. He was being used as a shield. And I don't even want to hear this thing about casualties. You didn't even try to save the boy's life. And of course, if she is aware of all these things, I'm sure all these things are at the front of her mind. This is the same police precinct that mishandled my family. Lord, please don't. I get it. I 1000% get it. And I also understand being single and needing help. That's why I try my best. You know, if I don't have to involve any law enforcement, I don't involve the law enforcement. Try to handle it on my own. Because unfortunately, that's how we got to move. You know, depending on the community that you live in. I'm not saying that all law enforcement are bad, because they're not. We live in a community where the majority of the law enforcement are up and up people. They live in the community. They were raised in the community, most of them. There are some implants, of course, and the implants are the ones that are more rogue than the ones that have been here and got families here. And then you may have one or two people that, you know, they're weird. We had an incident once where the guy was like trying to set it off over some parking. you know, and his partner checked him though. You know what I'm saying? So again, we had that good cop, bad cop dynamic to say, why are you trying to escalate this about parking when she said what she said, and I believe her. Like let her go and let her go home. It was why are we asking more questions? We already got all the answers. Like he checked him. And I'm so glad that he did, because again, you always got that one person that just really don't need a badge. This is just not the job for them. Is that person that wants to go rogue, that's got to do too much, that got to show their authority for no reason. You being respected. I'm calling you sir. You know what I mean? I'm not talking over you. I'm answering your questions. What more do you want, dude? You know, you got some of those people out there. But I'm going to say there are some good dudes too. There's also some good women, you know, with the badge. But unfortunately, these bad apples, they really do spoil the bunch. They really do.
What is your last name? Shouldn't have to think about your last name. You're not in trouble.
Okay, so if she's suffering in some type of way mentally, it might take her some time to process. But if you would have known that, which most of you are not trained to deal with mental illness, you would know that. That's why you shouldn't even be handle the outside. The report, the claim of the issue was on the outside. A social worker. That's why, you know, these mental related, these houses, these residences that are already tagged or labeled as a person that suffers from some type of mental illness, police should not come alone. They should bring some type of, or they should have someone on staff that is trained, a social worker that is trained to deal with mental related issues with people that suffer from that. So that when the police is called, social workers are coming with, so that what they can help to manage, discern what's going on from a more of a pragmatic way. They can discern on a clinical way where you know nothing about. You thinking the woman is just making things difficult. To me, you keep asking her questions. To me, you keep prying. To me, you're trying to confuse her. Because there's really no real reason as to why you're even in her home engaging in conversation about something that you claim that you didn't see. There was no evidence of anything happening. Would you think that she called and lied? Or she just called and she made it up with intention? Like with ill intention? If she has mental illness, she might have called and didn't even mean to call, or called and thought that there was something that happened that didn't happen. We don't know, but to approach it in this way and to push it this far and to take it to this extreme, it's just beyond, you know what I mean? It's just beyond comprehension.
Trouble. I just need to text.
Massey.
Massey. Yeah.
He claims she's not in trouble. Why are you in my home, man? Why are you in my house? Why are you asking me questions right now? You got your answers. I don't know what happened. Y'all claim y'all didn't see anything. Okay. You asked questions about my car. You got that. Okay. She talked to 911 or whoever she called. They got her name. She said her name was Sonya, the address, everything fits. You probably, more than likely, this is not the first time the police precinct has been at this home. They probably have her described as a Black female, 36 years of age, okay, suffering from mental. You already know what time it is. You know who you speaking to. You know who you speaking with. You know. She fits the description. Why is it that you got to dig further? It just makes no sense.
ID does make things so much easier.
Now he wants an ID.
Just driver's license will do, and I'll get out of your hair.
I want to show y'all my paperwork.
I will get your paperwork.
What paperwork?
Okay. I got some paperwork.
Well, just get your ID.
Well, let's get your ID first, and then
one task at a time here.
Okay.
Now it's one task at a time. Oh no, don't worry about the paperwork. Just the ID is sufficient. No, one task at a time. Okay, let's see how many other tasks he provides or asks or directives he gives in the few moments or so while we're watching here.
Here, grab your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID. And then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID
you
is.
have that stack right there, maybe.
1 second.
Now, why is he pointing at him? I believe in another video when I had made a little early, I just realized what happened. When they first came into the house, they checked the room. They checked the room when he first came into the house. We followed the cam when it went over to the room and he put the flashlight in the room. Why did he point at him?
Let me do this.
Okay, now he says, check the water. Check that water, turn it off. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, they're saying that it's in that stack there. The other guy has skulls on his arm too. The other video that we did, I'm gonna that reminds me. Let me go into a little bit of background regarding let me go to X. I believe it was hold on. It was Tariq Nasheed. He shared some information with regards to the officer. And I just want us to look at the arm a little bit closer of the partner. It appears as if he has skull also on his arm, or is that a wolf or something? I wish that we can see it a little bit closer. But we'll go to X in just a moment. I just wanted to go back a little bit just so I can hear the directives, all the directives, you know what I mean? She can't find her thing. She was nervous from the beginning.
That stack right there, maybe.
1 second.
Check on her.
Check that water, turn it off.
Let me do this.
No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
We don't need a fire. Okay, remember he said he was do that first. Now check the water, turn it off. We don't need a fire here. Okay.
All right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
She said, where are you going? Because it seems as if he was moving.
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away
He said, away from your hot steaming water.
from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
She said, away from my hot steaming water. And then she said, oh, okay. And then she says, oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of
You better fucking not. That's where I got.
Okay, so she said it twice. And then he says, you better effing not. I swear to God.
I'll fucking shoot your.
Then he said, I'll blanking shoot you right in your effing face. And again, the partner is just standing there because, again, his body cam is off. And then what does he do?
Right in your fucking face.
He pulls out his gun, right? And he had the gun in his hand the whole time. She said, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to turn off the sound. And then he says, drop the pot. Drop the effing pot. She doesn't have the pot. She has pot holders in her hand. She ducks down. The other partner brings out his gun, and Sean shoots her 6 times. Okay, let me see what else is those are pot holders, by the way.
Drop the fucking pot.
And that's Miss Sonya. Rest in peace, Queen. She looks so much like Sandra Bland's, doesn't she? Sickening. So shout out to The Black community speaks out. I'm sorry, what was the name of the Black Discoveries? Let me go to X right now. I want to show in this video just a little bit of information with regards to the shooter. Again, I want to do that in every video. According to Tariq Nasheed, let's go to that. It says that the suspected white supremacist race soldier, Sean Grayson, who racially executed Sonya Massey, has a special tattoo on his arm, and these symbols are also associated with neo-Nazi white supremacist groups. Okay, and that's why I wanted to kind of like highlight that, because he has that on his arm, and it seems like, it seems as if the partner has some type of tatting on his arm as well. And then there was another individual that shared on here. It says, we live in the world where trained cops can panic and act on impulse, but untrained civilians must remain calm with a gun in their face. All right. And it's true. It's sad, but it's true. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Now, again, without seeing it all in the fullness, right? We didn't see the outside of them, outside of the home when they were looking around. We didn't see that part, but we saw enough, especially from the initial conversation. To me, that provided a whole lot of context there, where she did not want to get off the phone when 911 called her back. She wanted them to remain on the phone, and she kept saying, please, Lord, from the beginning of the conversation. From the beginning. And so that's extremely concerning to me. And to know that there is a potential backstory on top of that. Wow. In addition to another family member, the baby being shot, and that police officer is not even being reprimanded, still has his job intact. Nothing's changed. So we're going to look out for the body cam for that incident. This is a crying shame. Where is this office? What are they doing? And I don't even want to hear training. No. It's the quality of people that you're selecting to occupy in these positions. No. You have to consider the people that you're choosing to hire. This is insane. So this is extremely sad. It's been sad, but it just keeps adding more layers of disgust as I want to say the details unfold, as the story unfolds. It just gets more grimier as we go. So at least he is locked up, and he has been charged. I'm really shocked about the 4-year-old. I'm really shocked about that. So I'm going to have to look into that. But yeah, I just want to say, guys, let's just keep them lifted in prayer, because I'm sure that the family is just having a hard time. And like I said, the other thing was another family member years ago got lynched, or something happened to them. It just seems like, I don't know if this family just has a bad rapport with the agency. And if that be the case, then they really do need to move. Like, there's no point of even being in a community around people that are out to get you, and especially if they're law enforcement. That's, to me, it's time to move. We have the freedom, and I know not everybody has the resources, but I would be trying my best, you know what I mean, to try to find someplace else to live, even if I have to be homeless. Like, it's not worth it. And I get it if Sonya does have or did have mental health issues, then it's easier said than done to try to convince someone to leave, especially if they're in an environment that they're familiar with. it just breaks my heart. So I'm not going to explain the I rebuke you, because I think most people understand that that is a religious, phrase, and it's taken from the Bible. The reference kind of it comes from when the angel was in conflict with Satan, and the angel said, Satan, the Lord God rebuke you. That's what he said. And so oftentimes, people take that and they kind of make it their own, and or they're used to hearing the more of the shorter version of that, and they use it. I really do believe that she felt something that was uncomfortable from the beginning, and she felt like he was just looking for a reason to harm her, because she asked from the beginning. She asked him not to harm her. It's almost time for prayer for me. It's pretty late, y'all. It's pretty late. I'm up because I just decided to stay up so that I can do prayer. But let me go ahead and end this live. But let me remind you, if you could be so kind, just like the video, make a comment. What do you think? I mean, I'm sure your heart is broken. If you had any type of heart or any type of compassion for humanity, it doesn't matter what race you are. This should choke you up a little bit to know that someone had to go through some unnecessary pain, and a family is grieving right now and mourning the loss of a loved one that should not have lost their life. This should touch you in a way where it's like, wow. And I just don't get how people can be so dismissive. I don't get how people can be so disconnected and detached from emotionally. Our emotional intelligence, we got some work to do as a country, but it just saddens me because, again, we pick and choose, where we want to give our digital hugs and prayer emojis. We pick and choose instead of being liberal and being compassionate, especially where it's suitable. And in this situation, no matter how much they try to spin it, the truth has come to light, especially since the cam was released. I'm grateful that the partner did have his camera on, because if it wasn't, I'm sure that they would be spinning this and spinning it and spinning it in their favor. But I'm so grateful that he at least tried to, even down to getting her. He wanted to go get his medical kit, and Sean was like, what's the use? It was a headshot. And he ended up calling her out of her name. He called her crazy. He called her a female dog, just wilding out. This was after the fact, when, backup came, the medics came, and, maybe the supervisor came. He's trying to give excuse. Now he's cussing and swearing. Bro, you brought that on yourself. Let me go because this is getting too long. I got to go, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Comment. Talk to y'all soon. Okay. Gotta go. Bye.